Hello and welcome to Printed. I'm Zach, and in today's episode, I'm going to be designing the 3D model for a redstone lamp. This will be something that I will later print with a wood filament and a yellow filament for the centerpieces, and adding LEDs to it to actually make it glow. Beyond that, I might make it motion sensitive or something along those lines. I haven't really decided yet. But let's go ahead and get started on the design process in Inventor. Alright, so I'm ready to start the design process. What I'm going to do is essentially design in one quadrant of the model, replicate and mirror that over the vertical axis to get the top half done, and then mirror that whole thing over a horizontal line to get the bottom half part done. And then I'll have one face done, and then I'll essentially need to replicate that to the other faces. What I also plan on doing is only making all the sides and the top, if you're looking at it, if it's set on your table, or the front if you're going to have it kind of wall mounted. The idea there is the back piece or the bottom piece, depending on if you have it wall mounted or setting it on a table, will be a separate piece that hopefully will snap into the main piece as a whole. So if we're going to have this table mounted, you could probably easily design a kind of little lamp stand with the wood filament to just kind of let it set on, or if it's wall mounted, it essentially just set flush on the wall. So I'm probably going to design it for the wall mounted at first, and maybe make a revision in the future with the desk mounted with a kind of little raised stand to kind of lift it off the desk a little. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and design it at a 4-inch line, but since it is pretty much just pixel art, and it should be able to scale up and down pretty easy, depending on the capabilities of how big your printer bed can print. Gonna go ahead and start with a line that is 1.2 inches long, and I'm going to dimension it 0.2 inches. So what I'm doing is, in my mind, I am essentially dividing this top quadrant here into essentially grids and designing from there. So what I'm doing right now is laying out that top part, and I'm going to do essentially stair steps until I get to the point where I am meeting back up with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other 1.2 inch line. That did not take. Start that again. 1.2. Okay. And dimension that. Okay, so I can now finish my stair step. And it should meet this perfectly. And it does. Alright. So beyond that, going to go ahead and extend that. Let's go ahead and do 0.6 to kind of make that equal with the part right there. It seems to be pretty much, let's move that so my webcam is not covering up. It seems to be pretty much equal with the part that comes down in the center. Seems pretty much equal with the little stair step piece right there. And then we're essentially going to do the stair step once again, but I will do the same thing down at the bottom, just so I have something to meet up to and I don't overshoot my target. And that will give me actually at the center, so I actually want that to be 1 inch, because I do want to have that middle center line to have some thickness. So essentially have my center line being 0.4, and I wouldn't argue with that at all. I might end up making that 1.1 and making it a 0.2 line. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that, 1.1. That might cause issues with lining stuff up though in the grid. We'll see what we'll see what it does. So just building my stair step all the way down, and can't tell yet if it's gonna have. It is gonna have issues. Okay, so let's go and make that just 1 and 1, and it should line up perfect right now. Okay, we're good. Now we'll make that center column come down as well as the horizontal ones in the center. This is going to be 0.4 wide, so it'll be a little bit wider than the edge pieces, but it does look like it might actually be a little bit thicker than the edge piece. It is just pixel art, and we're just making a rough representation of what you actually see. So we need to now. The center line of our bend is here. We essentially need to allow that to have some thickness, and so the 2-inch mark should be right there. Okay, so imagine that coming over and up, and our first line needs to be here. And 0.2 up, and then that needs to be dimensioned from here to be at 2 inches, and from here to here it needs to be 0.61. Yep, perfect. Okay, and now we just need to do the same up here. Should go perpendicular to that, 0.2 inches. Distance from here to here should be 1, perfect. And the distance from here to here should be 2 inches. All right, and those will hopefully line up perfectly when we do our stair step. Perfect. All right, so we're essentially now ready to do our mirror, and that will essentially get us to the stage where we have a finished part. So go back to the sketch. I don't know why I finished that. And essentially need to select this. Let's go ahead and do some reference lines though. And these are just for our mirror lines. I could do construction lines, but I'm just going to delete these here in a second, so they're going to be irrelevant once I do my quick mirrors. So I'm not done with that one. All right, so we should connect there when we do. It doesn't look too shabby at all. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Let's go ahead and extrude this part. That isn't what I wanted to do. Alright, so let's try extruding these pieces first. So there is a quick issue. Looks like there might not be something closed in the lines. We have an open loop. Alright, so let's undo our mirrors real quick. Alright, I don't know why it's giving me an error there, but sometimes it's just easy to delete and start from scratch. Alright, so open loops, but those are supposed to be open loops now. So it looks like I have the problem solved. At least for now. And once again, redo our mirrors. I guess I should have checked that just to double check. And now we should be able to extrude and not get everything. And that looks better. A lot better. Okay. So let's go to make the wood part of this a little bit thicker. We want to make it at 0.25 inches. And then we're going to go ahead and make that sketch visible once again. And then we're going to go ahead and extrude these as a new solid. And going to do 0.125 inches on those. All right. Did I not select my faces? Maybe not. All right. So you have quite a bit thinner piece right there. 0.125 versus should be 0.25. Correct. Okay. The 0.125 might still be a little too much. It's 1/8 of an inch. But we'll see how much light it actually lets through. I don't want to have a ton of light through, just more have a soft glow. Not really going to be actual lamps, more of a kind of a scenery type item. Okay, so we should have two solid bodies. Oh, I forgot to do the solid body. All right, and it freaked out there for a second, but everything looks good now. What I will do real quick is, I have no idea why it's doing that. That's weird. Just going to edit this real quick and make one of these yellow, just so we have make it easy to determine the two differences. Oops, I didn't mean to select image. And let's go and give that a brown-ish. Alright, so let's go and turn off the visibility of that sketch and look at this in reference to our design piece or to our reference image. It looks pretty good actually, so I'm pretty happy with that design. So now I'm ready to go ahead and extrude up our walls and the edges and essentially make sketches on the other 4 sides. Let's go back here. And copy all this data. Erg is annoying. Let's move that base point right there. Actually move, and the base point should be right there, and I should be able to select that. There we go. And once again, man, I don't know why it's doing that. It's annoying. This needs to be part of this solid, not that solid. And see which way it's extruding it. Let's go in. Okay, and then make that sketch visible once more. And extrude that part in to 0.25. Move back that direction, and it should be in solid 1. Did I cancel out of it? Okay. Looks good. Essentially, you need to make that sketch. Essentially, just go ahead and do our sketches real quick, and then we'll do our extrusions. Okay, you have that data copied, and we'll go ahead and remove visibility on that one and go ahead and apply this data. Perfect. Finish that sketch. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so we essentially have the rest of the material that we're going to be doing, and we just need to go ahead and start extruding. I should be able to do all the 0.25 inch parts all at once now. I don't want it to cut though. Visibility back on. One more. Alright, turn visibility back on these 2 sketches real quick. And we need to do the final extrusions. And switch to solid. So it seems like it's stopped freaking out down there. I don't know what was really causing that at all. All right, so we quickly have, let's turn the sketches off. We are able to pretty quickly prototype that out. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty close representation of what we're actually looking for. Those are a little bit thicker lines than the outside lines, but I really don't see an issue with that at all. Let's go and pull that part back up and expand it a little. Look at this from this angle. Yeah, looks pretty good. All right, so that's essentially what it's going to look like. We'll just have a two-tone one. It won't be quite as complicated as theirs is. They have multiple different color tones in theirs, but it should look pretty cool, I think. One last thing I want to do is need a way for the base piece to go on and snap, but I really don't want to do overhangs here with the wood filament, just because I don't know how well it will do overhangs and supports. So essentially what I think I'm going to do now is I have a good prototype. I could always make the base piece kind of flare out after it goes in a little bit, and kind of hold on to this a little bit maybe, just so it has a little bit of a snap, but not a really tight snap. So just kind of come out, and then when it reaches the point where it's past the wood, the yellow filament isn't going to be as far in, so have a little bit tab maybe that kind of snaps and holds it, but you should be able to, if you put a little bit of pressure and pull it out, it should let it go because it won't be a huge tab. It might be something I tried doing in the base piece, but that'll be something I'm going to do later. I'm going to go ahead and at this point try to print this and see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I will go ahead and run this through Simplify 3D and see how it prints, and we'll pick up from there. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you like the channel or subscribe to the channel, and like the video itself. I greatly appreciate any feedback that I get. Let me know what you think about this project, if you think it's cool, any suggestions that you have, and so on and so forth. So once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, Zach out.